What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Crash Course Metal Show. I'm your host, Trevor Crash Knight, and we got with us here a very, very cool guest, a different kind of guest, if you will, Mr. Tom from Tom's Music Trade from here in Red Lion, PA. What is going on, my
What's
man?
up, brother? Good,
Good,
man.
good,
Doing good.
good. Thank you for coming on the show. I always
You're
wanted
welcome.
to. I've been a customer, a fan of yours for. It's probably going on like since I was 15. So we're looking at probably 15 plus years now
Yeah,
since
yeah.
I've
Well,
been coming to your shop.
yeah, yeah. So you were there in the early days, man. Yeah, I've
Yeah.
had the store about 18 years now. So,
Yeah.
yeah, you
Okay.
would have been across the street when I had my other
Exactly.
store. Yeah, that's right, man.
Yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah. So guys, Tom does own his own music shop. He mainly does like a lot of vinyl and records and stuff as of now, but he has CDs as well, cassettes and everything, but
Right.
more known for the vinyl, I will say,
Yes. Yeah,
especially
yeah. Absolutely.
in recent times. So, yeah, I will put the link to Tom's Music Trade in the description below as well, so that people, if they want to find it, if you guys are in like the Red Line, York County, Northern Maryland, Southern Pennsylvania area, please give Tom a look
Uh,
and check it out.
Appreciate that,
Definitely
man.
worth your time. Definitely worth your time. So, Tom, we can go through a couple questions here. I kind of just
Sure.
wanted to get you on just to see kind of like what it's what it's like from the music business side of things, as far as like because all of us fans, we go to somewhere to buy the music, and
Right.
there's no better way to buy your music than from independent type sellers. So,
Right. I totally
can you,
agree.
yeah, so can you kind of give us like kind of like how you got into this business, and like what is all behind the deal as far as being a music shop owner?
Well, I feel like that's all I've ever done, really. But I've been doing this since I was 12, and I'm 51 now. So I've been doing
Okay.
this for as long as I can remember, and I've had the shop getting on for 19 years now. So, but I just got into it from you know, just loving music from early age, really. Didn't have a lot of records and that growing up. Didn't have a lot of stuff. Didn't have a lot of money to buy stuff like that. But so the ones I did get, I always cherished, and looked after, and just always enjoyed music until like probably early 90s. Well, late 80s, early 90s, and then I joined a band in England. And
Okay.
actually, it's funny, I'm standing outside right now, but that's actually a photo of my old band right there. That's
Oh
me on the
wow.
drums.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, it's funny. I just dug this out the other day and was showing my brother. That's my brother, the singer.
Okay. All right.
So, but
Nice.
yeah, that's from like about 91, 92, something like that. So,
Okay.
but just always been around music. But I used to sell it a lot in the 90s just to, get some money to go out for the weekend. Meet people that sell stuff, and so I did it like that. And then when I moved to America in 2000, I just continued doing it, really. I never stopped. And now
So
it's like, yeah.
yeah. So basically, is the record business, or like definitely the vinyl? Is it kind of like having a comeback as far as like the past few years? Like I have seen
Yeah,
last year that
the last
vinyl.
few years, definitely. And there's I mean, they're pressing everything on record now, so
Right.
um, there's a lot more product out there. People are a lot more interested, and yeah, it's great. It's it's pretty awesome, actually, to be honest. And I know the pandemic, when people were locked down, I think they rediscovered their record collections. A lot of people,
Right.
and because it gave it a giant boost when things started to open back up, and
Hmm.
it's I'm still going for it now, and it's still going. So we'll see how long the craziness lasts. But I think it's here to stay. There's a lot of new kids getting into records again, a new generation of collectors, and they're rediscovering all the old music as well, which is fantastic.
Right.
It's good to see some of the old bands back on tour again. So
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you, man. Every time I come into your shop, I always see at least like one person that's young. Like it's certainly
Yeah,
like
right.
under like 22. So it's always pretty cool to see. Definitely.
Yeah, always. Yeah, there's it's such a wide range of people. But there's a lot of new kids in the last 2 3 years, like 14, 15, 16, getting into it, and that's really neat. Because a long time it was people my age,
Yeah.
or just a few years younger. And
Yeah.
I'd say in the early 2000s, man, there weren't many people doing this shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's cool. So I'm glad it's still around for sure.
I can certainly attest to that because like just 10 years ago when I used to go into your shop, I felt like I was probably the youngest one that
You
I
probably
ever
was.
seen in there.
You
Like I was
probably
like
was,
20
mate.
at the time. Yeah, I was like 20, 16,
Yep.
around that age, so
Yeah,
certainly.
and that's right. Not many people younger than that were. They didn't even know what a record was. We get handed a cassette,
Exactly.
they didn't know what a cassette was, and it's funny how that's changed in just like
Yeah.
2 3 years.
Well, that's good. That's good. Certainly, as long as the music stays alive, I think that's the end goal for everyone. No
Right.
matter whether that is CD, cassette, because even cassettes are kind of having a little bit of
Yep.
a cult following again.
Yeah,
So
cassettes having a major comeback. To be honest, I mean, there's even bands putting cassettes out again.
right.
When I started seeing that a couple of years ago, I was like, who the hell's going to buy cassettes and order it? And then, well, what would you guess? I ended up ordering them myself. So,
Yeah.
yeah, you just never know how it's going to roll.
Yeah.
But yeah, cassettes and CDs as well have been down for a while. But
Mhm.
I think CDs have. There'll be people coming back for CDs. I think in a few years as well.
Yeah.
Just I can already see that. I think CDs will make a comeback.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I would certainly hope so because yeah, I'm more of a CD guy, but like if I can
Yeah.
never find anything on CD, records the next one at more than likely
Right.
you can
Right.
find,
Right.
especially like old school stuff and even the new school stuff. Even now that like you said, a lot of bands are pressing vinyl again, so
Yeah. Yeah.
which,
Well, the
which
press. I
is
mean,
very cool.
CDs. A lot of the new bands is pressing records, and they're not even pressing CDs anymore.
I know,
So CDs will be. It's going to be an interesting few years, but it's going to
yeah.
be a fun. It's going to be some fun stuff to collect for sure.
Yeah, because there's one band that I know currently out right now, Dirty Honey. They only have
Right.
vinyl at their shows, no CDs, and
Is
I'm
that
like,
right?
what? Yeah, what are you guys doing, man? So yeah, but it's cool to see that though.
Yeah. I actually tell any bands that come in if they're thinking about getting something pressed. I always tell them to get it on record myself. I mean, you can
Right.
give a burned CD away for free or something. You can still make that
Yeah.
collectible and sign it, whatever. But it seems like everybody wants a record. But
Right. Yeah.
yeah, I
Certainly.
always
Yeah.
buy the records.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it at all. As long as you have the physical, anything
Right.
physical, you're in the game. You're in the game. So with a little bit of the record business, like selling records and stuff, did you find yourself kind of getting burned out in music? Like, did you end up falling in love with music more, or kind of like, man, this is kind of like a 24/7 thing now? Did it kind of like
You
wear you
can, you
down?
can get burnt out with it.
Mhm.
Because the hardest thing is finding the collections, driving around. I mean, I spend hours on the road behind the scenes that people don't see every week, just to keep up the name, the reputation, so people come in and they find cool quality stuff. That's the hardest thing. I'm always on the road before work, after work, and looking for these collections and that. But I find them and I love what I do. So
Yeah.
now my kids have started helping me out at work and that, so gives me
Yeah.
more excuse to work. So, but yeah, yeah,
That's
I
cool.
think the hardest thing with doing this is consistently finding stuff over the years. Good collections.
Right.
Um, yeah, that's
Especially,
probably the big.
yeah, I would guess like especially now because people kind of know what they have. Some people still don't know what they have, but like
Exactly.
vintage like is the new thing the last couple years now. So
Well, everybody thinks they look up something online and they automatically go for the highest price one.
yeah,
A lot of times it's not even the same pressing, or the conditions totally wrong, or there's some number of
exactly.
factors. But yeah, I mean, you get I get ladies, old ladies of like 80 years old with like post-it notes on everything. And they've spent like 2 months looking at everything up, and I'm like, oh my god. Or discount. They're looking up discount prices, and I'm like, oh my god, you just spent like three months doing this. But you know, it's you know, everybody wants the most they can get, obviously, you know. But I always seem to get the deal done, you know. I pay good prices and that, you know. So but finding the collections to start with is hard work. For sure.
Right. Yes, sir. I can attest to that one. So, but yeah. So, one of the stories that came up, honestly, I don't remember how long this was ago. It has to at least probably be like 4 or 5 years at least now. But one of the stories that you became kind of well known for, at least in the local area, is your fighting abilities. Yes,
Right.
I know a lot of people like to hear about that like scenario.
Oh, yeah.
You might just kind of run through like kind of
you mean
shortly what happened with that?
That was 2012. Yeah.
Yeah, he was in there a couple of hours. He was just acting erratic. He was muttering to himself, you know. He was throwing CDs around. He was just acting real strange, you know. And yeah, so when he came to pay a couple of hours later, I noticed he had a bunch of CDs in his back pocket.
A couple of hours later. So he came up to pay, and then how did the fight then break out? He came up to pay with the CDs in his back pocket.
Well, I walked around the counter and asked him for the CDs back, and he said he didn't have any. So I put my hand in his pocket and pulled them out and said, "Yes, you do," you know. And then he tried to leave the store. I stopped him from leaving the store, and I went to check him again to see if he had anything else, and that's when he pulled the knife out.
Oh, so how would you compare this? You're a cage fighter. How would you compare this to other people you fought?
Well, most of them don't have a knife, so yeah, it's a lot different.
Just
oh my gosh, that was
2012, man. Yeah, well, I used to do like, I mean, when I was a teenager, I used to box for my city in England. And then when I was in my late 30s, I thought, I'll take up cage fighting, you know, I'm bored. I got something to do. And I ended up doing that. And then I quit in 2011. And then in 2012, just so happens I had somebody come in and shot with a knife, and had to use some of those skills, unfortunately. So a little bit of a scuffle with the person.
He was certainly kind of like changing prices and stuff like that on your stuff.
Well, he was this guy was he was acting crazy, man, and he actually he had shit in every pocket, and like CDs in one, cassettes in another, video games in another. I was like, this guy's out of his mind. But he just it ended up with him pulling a knife, and it just. A little bit of it.
And you were able to take care of him. Yeah, you're certainly able to take care of it because you were a local hero here for a little while. You still are with that story.
It seemed like a lot of people. I mean, he went viral for sure. He went crazy. I mean, I ended up doing like. It was on all kind of the major TV networks. It even ended up on the Fuji network in Japan, from what I understand.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, like what was it? Like like them bloopers reels type of thing.
Yeah.
It was one of them. I signed a waiver for it anyway for them to use it in the Fuji network. So whether they did or not, I don't know. But I've always wanted to see it because it'd be the whole thing with Japanese commentary. Awesome.
Oh, the translating all you.
Yeah. I thought I always wanted to see it because of that. So.
Oh, that's awesome, though. Yeah, but I did not think it was 10 plus years ago though. Now that's crazy.
Yeah, exactly. It's 11 years ago now. It's crazy, and I know time flies, bro.
It does, man. Especially when you love what you do, right? So
right, absolutely, man.
But so did you also want to like kind of tell everybody what you've been up to lately, as far as like what you mentioned about your museum that you're kind of working on, your music museum?
Yeah, well, at the back of the shop, actually, I'll take you a walk back there.
Yeah, okay, sure.
A room which I'm emptying. It still looks like there's tons of stuff in here, but I've moved out like 5 times this stuff. So this is what's left that's going into storage.
Okay.
And this is going to be the room. It's all going to be done out, and it's going to be memorabilia. All my archives and all my really rare stuff I've been collecting for the last decade.
Very cool. Yeah, because I know every time I come in, there's always something new up on the wall, like something signed or something rare. You know, it's quite charming. And I mean, it's not the biggest space, but it's quite charming.
Yeah, and that's it. You know, I mean, it is a little tight in here. I make the most of it, but there's more per square inch than. I mean, I went to the Hard Rock Cafe recently, and in Baltimore, and I thought I think I haven't beat, man. I mean, the stuff I've got to put out is pretty good. So, you know, we'll see.
Yeah,
that's my competition right now.
I would say I'm quite happy I live very close by to Tom's Music Trade. I'll say that much. I will say that much.
I appreciate that, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Tom, is there anything that you wanted to like tell the audience? Anything that's coming up? Now, you don't do any online sales, correct?
No, I don't do any online. I mean, I really cater to all the people that like, because a lot of people drive like 2-3 hours. Some people, you know, I've even had people drive from New York when I've got certain collections in, and I feel like it's, you know, these people driving that far, man, they deserve to be able to pick through this stuff, you know, and I would do shipping, but usually by the time these people have been through it, you know, all my regulars, there's nothing left anyway to ship. All the stuff people have asked for is gone. So, but it just works out like this, and I like it like this, you know. It always makes it exciting for people coming in because they know that stuff that most people sell on the internet will be in the shop, you know. Like that metal collection I just got the other week. I mean, just unreal. Some of the stuff you bought, actually. Yeah. And that was from and that was from the guitar player for Purgatory's that metal band from the 80s, and you know, stuff like that. Cool stuff. People come through. I get to meet people, and you know. But yeah, I mean, I guess the only thing that people know would be if you've got any memorabilia, let me know. I'm buying as much as possible. Special local stuff, or record collections or anything. Just keep me in mind, and I'll make you an offer. But yeah, man. Thank you for asking me to be on here, man. This is cool.
Of course. Dude. Yeah, man. Anytime you want to come on, talk music, talk, you know, your shop, because I'm always interested in seeing knowing what's going on kind of behind the scenes.
Right. Yeah. And it is. It's an interesting time to be have a record store, an established record store as well. You know, I mean, it's because it is hard if you're trying to get into it now, because all the collections you're going to be buying are going to be super expensive. I mean, thankfully, I've had like you see in the back room, I've got like 10, 20,000 records in storage. You know, I've got a steady flow. You know.
Of course.
But yeah, I love it. And when I open the museum, you'll have to come and do another one. For sure, man. And I'll give you a more detailed thing on some of the cool stuff I've found over my travels and that.
Yeah. Sure, we can do that, man. Just let me know. I mean, I'm sure I'll be in there within the next month or two anyway.
Oh, yeah, whenever,
picking up some things. So yeah, definitely keep me updated on that. We will definitely do a video on that. So
absolutely, man.
So a final question here for you to send you off on. What was the band, or I guess artist, or just a single musician? Who made you get into music?
Man, it's tough. Probably the band I most loved. Probably the Stone Roses, the Smiths, the Stone Roses. I loved all that. I mean, but it was a great time, man. I left school in like '88, so it was crazy, and the music scene was wild, man. I mean, the hair metal was in full swing, man.
Yes, it was. Yeah. And there was so much good stuff in all genres of that.
That's what I mean. And I mean, to be honest, the metal side wasn't really my thing. Even though the local scene had a lot of good metal bands, and I mean, one of them, Blaze Bayley, who went on to sing for Maiden, of course.
Yes,
that was just a local band. We used to drink with them down the pub all the time, man.
That's
Blaze
awesome.
Bayley Yeah,
Wolf
yeah.
Spain.
all
Well,
the-
that was Wolfsbane at the time, correct?
Wolves,
You said?
yeah,
Yeah,
Wolfsbane,
Wolfsbane.
yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's funny that all the scene that it wasn't my thing, but there was so much just interesting music, man, in the 80s. And I mean, now 80s, everybody. I mean, if I get 80s collections in, people want it, man, because
Exactly.
you know they're reliving
Yeah.
their youth. But yeah, it's definitely some great stuff, man.
It is.
Sure.
Yes, sir. So okay, so what? So who was the band then? Because I'm unfamiliar with
Well,
them.
for me that changed it and made me want to be in a band, I suppose, was probably the Stone Roses, like later 89, 90, that whole the Happy Mondays, you know, all that scene from Manchester.
I got you. Yep.
Really, for me, because I come from the city, you know, and all my mates, I just felt like bands from guys from council estates in England, and I could relate to that. So you know, none of them looked like good musicians. I was like, that's perfect, because you know what I mean. So that's how we started our band. Actually, just a bunch of people that used to, me and my mates, they used to smoke weed, and we started a band. And we did that for years, man, and they still play sometimes now in England. So it just goes to show,
awesome.
right?
That's awesome. Yeah, because sometimes when I come into your shop, I hear you on the drum set. You play the drums.
Yeah.
For the customers once in a while.
That's it, man. Yeah, I'm still playing. Still, it's it's. But I look back to them times, man. Really good times for sure.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Tom, that's pretty much all I have. I just wanted to get you on here, help promote your shop and all. And
I appreciate that, man.
appreciate it, man. I appreciate you coming on.
No, definitely, mate. Anytime.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Guys, I will put the link to Tom's social media stuff, Tom's Music Trade, in the description below. Check him out. More than happy to help you with anything that you're looking for, or just
Absolutely.
even on what he has. You can keep up with what he posts. So, alrighty, guys. Until next time, I'm Trevor Crash Knight. That's Tom from Tom's Music Trade, and we will see you guys later.
See ya.
Yeah, I wrote that. It's called I Want to Rock Your Body. And then in parentheses it says to the break of dawn.
Sure, cage fighter. How would you compare this to other people you fought?
Well, most of them don't have a knife, so yeah.